Today we'll talk about something very important. A lot of people's startup thinking or activity is forever stuck at neutral or very low gear. They're affected by three myths that is very, very typical. We're going to talk about those three myths. I see that a lot of people have this problem. Number one myth is that a lot of people believe if I make something and the customer will come. Okay, so this is a very natural thought, especially for people who are young, who have not been in business. The reason is very simple, okay, because people don't need a lot of things. Profitable business or even business is a rare commodity. There isn't a lot of things that people need. People need basic survival, and beyond that, they want to have fun. Sometimes even a job is for fun. Take the example of the coronavirus outbreak. During the outbreak, people stock up on water and toilet tissue papers. And that's about it. Food, everything else is secondary. The industrial complex is always there, the supply chain and everything. The rest are all very disposable needs. So if you try to create a business believing that if you make something, whether for a big crowd or for a small crowd, and people would care, that's actually very wrong. The second myth that a lot of people fall is that they want to do this as a single solo operation. For whatever reason, for the sake of keeping secret, for the sake of getting easier agreement maybe, a lot of people wanted to have a solo operation. And this is absolutely wrong. If you cannot have a second person, do not start any business. You can't go out and find a co-founder after you have kind of started this, okay? All the successful startups have at least many, many people involved from day one. They're not the people that you hire. They're not the high-level managers. They're not the investors. Your co-founder is not a inferior founder. Is not a smaller stake founder. Your co-founder is a founder. This is something that a lot of people get it wrong. A dream of your own is just a dream. A dream of two is reality. The number three myth that a lot of people are stuck with is that they keep on thinking. They think that creative thinking is a source of innovation. This myth is perpetuated by our society's media. Okay, we're always believing in the brain power. So we have this typical image of someone reading a lot of books and designing the value proposition, the business development, the BD plan, the PPT, and you design everything in vacuum. And there is the biggest problem. When you design everything in vacuum, it's just like you're designing a game. You fall in love with your own idea. And most important, you fall in love with yourself. That's not going to work, okay? I had good examples that I discussed earlier. One of them is my good friend, a famous professor at Northwestern University, started a company on Nanosphere, and this company does DNA diagnosis, but eventually the company went public, but was delisted from NASDAQ because it doesn't have business. The other company is started by two men. It's got diapers.com. They had interest from people buying discount diapers on day one. And they developed this business and sold the business to Amazon for a few $100 million. This is the way to go, okay? A lot of people think that if I make something, if I'm good with coding, if I'm good with making apps, if I'm good with circuit design, then I can make an offering. And offering will find a buyer. That's absolutely wrong. They forget to realize that everything is hard, not because they are difficult to learn, but because everything is a competition. A product offering is not sales. It's just because you offer something online doesn't mean people will find you, doesn't mean people will buy it, doesn't mean they will come back to buy it, doesn't mean they will tell their friends about it and ask them to come to buy it. Okay? A product offering is not a sale. Everything is just hard. A startup business is not even a business. It's just a business trying to start. A starting is not enough. You have to plan the finish at the start. Well, if you don't have experience, how can you plan the finish at the start? The finish is 10 years away. This is tough. And number 4 is that a company is not a business. A company is just the legal structure, the outfit for running the business. If you don't have a business, if you have company, that's not enough. A job is not a business. A lot of people started a company. In reality, they just assign themselves a job. A job will never grow into a business. A solo job will never become a two-man operation, will never become a bigger operation. And a business that does not have room to grow will not be born. It's not like people would allow you to have a business that would just forever be small. We call them hobby business. We call them cocktail party business. Those things will never even be born. Okay? One-man show. This is very important. A one-man show will forever be a one-man show. It will never become a two-man operation. The 3 things that are most important, most difficult, are quality, profit, and sales. The reason those things are hard is because they are moving targets. It's not because you're a strong runner in a country and then you can win a marathon, okay, in Seattle or Chicago. You have to beat the field every single time. Quality, profit, and sales are moving targets. The entire process for startup is often misunderstood. It takes 2 iterations. The first iteration, you have an idea and you go through all the failures and go through all the mistakes. In the second iteration, you have fun. You define your business very clearly. So typically what we mean by the eureka moment, the moment where the light bulb turns on, is not here. The light bulb does not turn on here. People think too much about turning the light bulb right here. This is the wrong place. This is where the light bulb turns on. And people think about Steve Jobs all the time. Well, when Jobs says be different, change the world, this is in the second stage. It's not in the first stage. The first stage is just pure learning, pure mistake making, and so on. There are other closely ranked myths and typically used as excuses. There are too many of them and stops way too many people from even starting to enjoy a true startup process. People think, well, I don't have to give up my work. Okay, I've heard people say it's absolutely wrong for people to suggest that you have to give up your work. Well, I've done this a long time. You have to give up your work. Otherwise, it's just your hobby. It will forever be your hobby, be a one-man show. It will not be a business. If you're lucky, you can supplement your income and have a lot of things to show off on YouTube, but that's not good enough, okay? A lot of people have too many good ideas. I've met too many people with too many good ideas, okay? They just want to have 2 ideas to focus on. That's not good, okay? You need to find one. You need to dedicate yourself to one. A lot of people want to find a co-founder later. They think their co-founder is kind of like their lieutenant, the second general or something. That's not true. You need someone as good or even better than you. Okay? A lot of people think, well, if my idea is small, then I'll just ask for a smaller amount of money. Well, no one will give you a small amount of money to fund your small idea. You are the person who should put up the money to fund your small idea. And then I heard a lot of people say, my idea is going to be absolutely revolutionary, but I can't share it. Well, I don't know how to help you. I don't know anyone how to help you. If you can't share your idea, I have explained it in other videos. That's because you haven't developed it big. You haven't made it happen yet. Okay, so work on it. Don't just use the excuse of keeping your secret as a reason of not to pursue it. The last thing I want to mention is as a person who have done this for many, many decades, I realized when I look back that use is really defined by optimism. Unfortunately, the world does not care. Optimism is good because it gives you energy, but I believe that optimism, while knowing all the hardship, is really heroism. Okay, you can't just be happy with your optimism. The world is a competition, and optimism will guarantee that you finish the last in this pack, which means nothing. I hope you enjoy this. I really want to clarify some of the myths that I see often and often, too many times. I hope a lot of people see this video, and thank you for watching.